Hello, welcome back. It is me, your guy, your man, your dude, and your bro. Oh no, it has a hand the other side. Okay, it didn't have that before, so now I just need the head.
Our whole lives, we run toward it. Something, someone. Some wavering oasis of joy and contentment. Sad thing is, most happiness seems to come by accident. Maybe it's not about getting it, but letting it.
You're smiling.
I am not.
His memories are giving you something. As these emotions flow through you, you take from him his singular power over the world.
It's okay to smile, homie.
I want out.
But look, the dormizone. It's lit up now.
Fuck is a dormizone? This is the single most useless thing in the fucking world. This bit coming up. Enter dormizone. Yep. What? And it gave you. What's this now?
Screen.
Is this where I dorm? Is this where I actually fuck with my guy, or is this another reflection of the kid? Because I just saw.
Well, shit. You hungry?
What is this? A break room? Oh Jesus! Oh come on! What was the point of that? Are you kidding me? What the fuck was the point of that? Bro, that's what I'm saying. Why did they do that? What purpose did that serve in any way, shape, or form? Did they just need to kick us out to take us back in for this cutscene? Just put us into the cutscene. Oh, I didn't know it did that. Okay. What's that bar at the bottom? This is evidence that I wasn't paying attention in the tutorial, more or less, but... What's that? So how long I can... That's me figuring that out again. Yeah.
Now, do you believe it?
Believe what?
Let's go.
All I had was a snack. Nothing changed. Do I just do that again and then get the kid's head? Jesus Christ. You can hear it in my voice in the recording. I'm not really enjoying this. I think it's kind of taxing. It's just boring so far. So I'm excited to finish editing this initial recording to then try and continue the game and see if there's anything different. Maybe they change the formula a little bit. If this is purely just for the sake of the tutorial. But again, this is not a good tutorial. It's not formulated well. It doesn't fit properly. And also, this mission doesn't make sense. It gives me two things, but then it's like there's a timer. Which I didn't realize until the end either, because the audio for it isn't very prominent. So there's two things that you need to get. Sorry, I banged my mic as well. Why do I hear a timer? There, see, there you go. There's 2 things you need to get. It shows you the thing for both, but it doesn't specify that. Clearly, it makes more sense to do this one first and then that one second. So I get reset.
Really?
I didn't really like
Okay, so
this. Got to start with this one. Okay. This looks like it's gonna suck up. Move, you fucking horse! Yeah, I really don't like this open world puzzle stuff. Because Warframe ain't a puzzle game. Bruh. Really? Where are you pointing now, bruh? Okay, so that one's done. Warframe is not a puzzle game. Go, horse. And this horse is really not wanting to cooperate with me. Like, these types of missions is just... Okay, I did it. Is just making someone do something for the sake of doing something.
Sometimes, though.
Which is needless and unnecessary. Like, you don't just make people do something for the purpose of doing something. Just actually... Like, don't have me just walk about and randomly shoot things in the street. Because there's no purpose in that. Have me fight some stuff. If you really want to get me attuned to this new combat, all of the overworld should be combat as well. But I think they've realized that the combat isn't very good, so they're not going to force you to do it 24/7. But if that's the case, don't have the combat in the game. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not saying anything crazy out here. I'm saying what's on everybody's mind.
Yeah, what you gonna be doing now?
Yeah, let's see what this is now. Oh, this is the Void Front. I do like this this mission type. This one's pretty fun. There are a lot of enemies in it though, which obviously is good. Because this is what I would expect from Warframe. Yeah, so I'll say it again. The good thing about the Undercroft, right? So if I had known that the Undercroft missions would all have been like this, I probably would have chosen Mag. And had I known that the Warframes would be like stacked with ridiculous range, level 30, really powerful.
Do these guys not give?
I would probably have picked Mag, because then I would know that her Polarize would do wonders. I'd be able to attack everybody from like super far. And then if I'd known I would be able to get the Tigress, her Magnetize would have been insane. But obviously saying had I known blah blah, I assume this would be like a normal introduction to the game. It obviously wasn't. And that's what I've been complaining about this entire time. Well, I haven't been complaining that it's not a normal introduction. I've been complaining that it's far removed from what Warframe is. But yeah, I probably would have chosen Mag instead of Excalibur.
You have the same voice lines every single time.
But the issue is, bitch, that this whole underground area is quite cool. Like, I like this, so I want to know. I was also curious. I thought maybe I would play on my main account and try and get through this tutorial again, as much as I would fucking hate that. I thought maybe I'd try and get through it on my main account and then see how this would play, because my main frame on my main account is Nezha. I think Nezha is honestly one of the best frames. Ridiculous utility, and just in general really good frame, defense as well.
We're watching that big glob.
Get it. But then at the same time, this whole underground area, because everything's so contained, some frames aren't going to work.
Speed up my life, big glob.
It just kind of, it limits at the same time, like what you can do, who you can pick. Jesus. Yeah, this thing's way too quick. There we go. Christ. If anything, we probably just wasted time doing that. And I said I do like this mission, and I do, but I think the better way of doing it would have been spawning more enemies. I know a lot of enemies spawn, or not even spawning more enemies, but just having the enemies drop this resource, or this like the void flood or whatever. If the enemies drop it, just make them drop like a lot, and then it doesn't mean you just have to. Again, it's having them do something for the sake of doing something. Like why is it randomly strewn about the map? What purpose does this serve, other than to force me to run around the map? Because that's like what. Why am I running around the map? Just to collect stuff? It doesn't matter. What, you want me to appreciate your map design? Make me want to explore it then. Don't force me to run around and go pick up stuff. Leaving the Undercraft. Yeah. So clearly the frames are stacked, because yeah, I just took out. That would never normally happen.
With sweet words, he persuaded others to his side, but his thoughts were only ever of himself.
This part sucked, by the way. This was really unpleasant. So this was a lot of the combat. And I know earlier I was asking for them to give me this combat so I could get attuned to it. But this many large enemies and the 15-second cooldown on the heal, and like just give me mods as well, because there are no mods in this beginning part. You're not picking up mods, so when you unlock your Warframe, are you going to have anything available to you? No, but I've played the game a bunch now. I've got like a higher rank. Move, you bitch. Jesus. The combat in this is not good. I've got a higher rank frame, but with no mods. Like, am I going to be able to mod the Drifter to have more HP? Or is this, again, I'll tell you what, bold statement, this is gimmick combat. It doesn't serve any purpose. It's just there for the sake of being there. That's what, I'll tell you what, that's what this whole update feels like. It's there for the sake of being there. If you want to revamp the tutorial, because I remember they did revamp it a few years ago. Not by a few years ago, it might have been a lot more than a few years. But they did update the tutorial again. I think they just added new cutscenes and stuff like that. And you can see here I'm relying on that whole shoot, reload for the big damage, and then copping people.
Okay, so that's what gives me the...
In the head.
Wait, I can just cycle that.
Yes, I can cycle that, and you'll see that that is exactly what I end up doing for pretty much the remainder of this fight. And this is just boring, though. There's no fun in this combat. Running around, sitting back, because the lock-on doesn't work properly, which I learned earlier. And I'm missing my shots. The lock-on doesn't work properly that we learned in an earlier episode, and just everything. It is just janky. I still haven't watched anything else because I've just been editing these videos, so I haven't watched anybody else's take on this whole thing. But I'm curious to see what anybody else is going to be saying. Like, you know, like experienced Warframe players, the bigger ones. You know, you got the potato guy, you got Pupska. I like the bigger YouTubers.
More. Christ.
I really want to know what Frozen Balls says as well, because he's quite funny. I like that guy. But maybe playing with an experienced account would make it better. But then here comes the issue, right? Why would I play on a already established account if you're offering me this as the tutorial? I think that's my biggest issue, the fact that this was offered as a tutorial. If you wanted this to be introduced in the early game, maybe introduce it like after Vor's Prize. I'm getting a little bit angry here because I don't enjoy this combat. But yeah, maybe offer this after Vor's Prize, or after. Maybe just offer it as like a secondary quest, because again, this shouldn't be forced onto players. I have a feeling this will. Okay, there's two ways this can go. Right, so it can pull players in, or it can push players away.
Jesus.
So this whole start could really be like attracting, you know, slower combat game enthusiasts, and they're going to be wanting to play like Dark Souls S. They'd enjoy this. They'd enjoy input by input gameplay and combat. But then the moment they get out of this, The moment they get out of this, they're going to be like, what the hell is this? I don't enjoy this combat where it's everything everywhere all at once and it's super fast paced. They're not going to like that. So they're going to get pushed away. And they're going to stick only to this paradox gameplay. And then they're not going to have anything else to... They're not going to have anything else to do. Because this obviously isn't a full fleshed out game. The full fleshed out game is the rest of what Warframe has to offer. Yeah, I don't like that this was offered as tutorial. I'm a very, oh my god. Oh, you die from that. Full damage. Why is there full damage? This is Warframe. You could, this is, yeah, I don't get it. It's like they tried to introduce a whole new game into Warframe. Why? There's nothing wrong with Warframe. If you feel like you don't have player attention, adding gimmicky gameplay and gimmicky new stuff to get new players and old players. Well, because I don't think you're going to get new players from this. Trying to get old players back for like 5 minutes, it isn't going to work. Defense. And here we have a defense mission. I'm kind of struggling with what I want to talk about anymore because all I'm really finding is negatives. That's the only thing immediately on my mind. Because the parts I'm enjoying are the parts that are like classic Warframe. So like this Undercroft area, it's good. I enjoy the gameplay obviously because I enjoy Warframe. But what gets me is the fact that you don't get to pick the mission, right? So you just get thrust in. You don't get to choose.
5 waves. Jesus. Okay.
Like, are sabotage missions even a thing anymore? Can you do a sabotage in this context? Because sabotage is running through an enemy ship or a place and messing with some of their equipment. There's nothing under here. Unless we're going to turn off the Opera Lady, which would be nice. But that's only like 5 foot from where you spawn. So, I don't really know. Like, it feels very limited. They basically just took the Warframe experience, added 17 steps, and then limited what you can do. Because not having the arsenal right now is crazy as well. Like, yeah,
That's
look how far that
that's
goes.
really good for covering long distances. Okay.
Like that should not go that far. Not this soon into the game. I don't know if you could consider this like a hack. Not a hack, sorry, but like a cheat sheet. Like if you pick this start.
See, if I see people in a line like that, pop it, eh?
Like if you start with this tutorial, you basically get like a boost of some description. Maybe it's like a skip. Maybe they were thinking they wanted people to start again. But then if they did start again, then I feel like most people would have the reaction, oh Christ, the reaction I'm currently having, which is, I don't like this. So I want to know what they're, because they must have play tested it, right? Surely. I want to know what any playtesters said, or, you know, maybe, because some people get early access to this content. So, it's an odd one. And, like, will they ever offer endless missions in the Undercroft? Will they do that? And will it technically be endless? Because presumably you'd just end up doing it until you wanted to do it, and then you go straight back into the Overcroft or the Drifter Overworld. When I destroy this fucking opera singer, yeah, the opera's really annoying. After you're there for a bit, so like with these longer missions, like, it'd be great if I could just kind of turn her off. I know I could probably just turn down her settings in the menu, but then we get no music, and that's no fun. Yeah, and also the fact that there's mods on my frame means I'm mainly overusing
Leaving the Undercroft.
my radial javelin because I know it can clear most things. Is it possible to hide this 3 decree shit? It's just unnecessary. Whereas whenever in the base game, when you first start, you're wanting to use your abilities and you're limited by your energy because you only have 100. So you're going to be switching it up and changing what you do. Whereas now you can just find one thing that works and then spam it because you've got 300 energy. There's energy drops in the Undercroft, so you don't have to like farm. Basically, it just feels like a mishmash of it's just a mess.
I need to take a piss, bro. The only thing is, there's no break. Like, yeah, you can go back to the thing, but you like the missions are a lot shorter in the OG game, like a lot shorter. So you don't have to like. My buddy here is about to spit some facts. If you listen to him, spit some bars, if you will. Basically, just the preformed. Sorry, yeah, you don't have to fucking the preformed ideas that that were the initial like talking points of what I've been talking about in the last few videos. He's just gonna give you his first little impressions. You guys stop running, Christ! And also complain about the combat some more because that is the arc de triomphe for this. Yeah, so you don't have to like do like 17 million things in a row first before you so the horse has abilities. This. Why is it glowing? Yeah. This, by the way, why is it glowing? I can't interact with it yet. So clearly this is something that you unlock later in the game. But why is it glowing? Investigate. Don't make it glow. Why is it glowing? Something that I can't do yet? Can't do. Don't make it glow if I can't interact with it yet. Because that was a very clear, like, aggressive blue light saying, come here, right? So I went there, couldn't do anything, just took me away from everything for a little bit, took me out, it's unnecessary. Oh, this part was unpleasant as well. I'm really not very good with this combat, and I think that's because maybe I'll try and get one of my friends to play this new intro, and see, because they enjoy the Dark Souls type games, and see if they like it. Or if they'd want to keep playing, or if they find it janky, or if they're able to pick it up pretty easily, whether they struggle, whether they complain. Because one man's thoughts are obviously going to be biased. Really? What the fuck is this, bro? And maybe good or maybe bad. I might be alone in this. I feel like it's impossible for me to be alone in this, but I may be alone in not enjoying this at all. And the whole shadow thing, like, I feel like the only useful ability that the Drifter has is the heal. That's it. Jesus Christ. Because how's a stealth thing going to hide me from that? That's a shotgun blast of things. And the stealth doesn't really serve any purpose in actual combat. You just stand in it and nobody attacks you for a little bit. So all it does is give time for your 3 to recharge. So that you can then heal again. Right? But again, that's just a case of slowing things down for no reason. Because you don't need to do that. It's just unnecessary. Die, bruh! Yeah, I can't... Jesus! Can't get that last shot off on that guy. It was really annoying me. But, yeah. It's great times. And here, yeah, I go back to the whole just shoot him in the head thing. And hope that works.
Big hit. Yeah, I'm just abusing this. Because it works. And if it works, I want to do it. Miss. Oh, Christ. These big guys aren't actually that bad because there's only one of them. And they don't hit too hard. I feel like they should hit way harder, but they're not. It basically means that I don't feel bad when I fight these guys. I don't think I've died to one of these things yet. But I think they're supposed to be like some huge, really daunting enemy. Their design infers that they're going to be, implies that they're going to be some huge problematic enemy. But they're not that bad. They're like actually perfectly acceptable. They're not that deep to deal with at all. I'd rather fight 7 of them. Oh, that's the dodge, I see. Than anything else. Oh my god. They're perks. I'm still furious that I didn't figure this out sooner. They're perks. It never once said that. Did it? And I just wasn't paying attention. Oh my god. On headshot. 6% toxin, critical melee hits, 100% crit damage. Oh my god, I can't believe that. On crit hit, melee attack speed. Oh my Jesus. I've been out here playing this on fucking hard mode by accident. On accident? By accident? We still have discussions and rather aggressive arguments in my friend group as to which one is right or because they sound wrong. I'm furious right now. I am furious. I'm furious now watching it back. That you've got to tell me to press Q to choose choose there's a perk system. It never once did that. You can't do that, bruh. It's supposed to be a tutorial. Jesus Christ! And you leave out something as vital as that. Absolutely ludicrous.
It wasn't me that started stirring up this mess with the executions. You got it in your head to get out. Don't you see now? These stories